Well, hello. It's Mark again. And we've got our chickens in the fridge right now. They are marinating, and we're going to let those marinate for a few hours before we get those put in the oven. We'll cook those with our convection oven at about 350. So here's what we're going to do. Again, trying to make cost-effective, great-tasting meals. A pot of greens is great because you can have it for a couple of days. You can put some in the freezer, and that's actually what we've been doing. We've got small Tupperware containers where we're basically a portion size, and we put those and we give those to my people that we're working on feeding, and they can put that in the freezer, and they just take it out the day before, thaw it out. They can warm it up in the microwave or put it on a pot, and it's really easy. And making a pot of greens, yeah, it's definitely easy. So here's what we're going to do with my greens, okay? There's many different ways to do this. I've got my big pot right here, and the camera's going to be hard to see this, but we'll move it around. I got my big pot here, and what I'm going to do is I've got some bacon, and you can do this. This is still slightly frozen still, which makes it a little easier to cut. And this is some thick sliced bacon, probably about 6 pieces or so. I like having bacon in here. Some people will use like a fat back and things like that. Doesn't matter, just getting a little pork in there will get that flavor and a little extra taste. And what we're going to do is we're not going to cook it where it's crispy. We're going to cook it until it's soft. Now, sometimes I will use ham, and what I've done too in the freezer, I bought like the mini spiral sliced hams, and I've put it, basically it's like about $15 ham, and I cut it into about 5 sections, and I'll use one of those in with the chicken. Actually, not with the chicken. I'll use that in with the greens, so that way it'll give me some meat and stuff in there. And again, so that's about $3 worth of ham that you're putting in there. Right now, we've got our bacon that's in here sizzling, and we're going to get the process starting that to cook. What we're also going to do, because, and I may do this at another point when it's a little warmer, is getting a turkey and smoking it. Most of the people don't eat the drumsticks or the wings, but I save those, and I still have, where'd you go? Oh, here it is. I have my last drumstick that's in the freezer that's smoked from Thanksgiving. So we're going to put that in there. That's going to be our extra meat. Now we have turnip greens. Turnip greens are a little bit on the bitter side, and I'll get you to look down here at the pot while we're cooking them. Okay, that'll be a blooper. Get you looking down here at the pot a little bit more here while we get the bacon started. And I've got the bags of greens. I actually have ones that are pre-chopped, okay? You can buy them where they're not, and you can go ahead and de-stem them yourself. You still want to wash the greens. So I've got a colander over here, and I'll do it in small batches. Now, that's getting in there good. Another thing I'll do is I'll take out the bacon, and with the grease that's in here, I'll saute some onions, and then I'll add some water to it, and then I'll start adding the greens. I need to work on my camera setup here, and I will in the coming days since we're going to be doing more and more of this. But let me get my onions chopped up. Now that's real good. See, we got this softened up, and you see the browning on the bottom. We like that because that's extra flavor. Now I'm going to take the bacon out. I take the bacon out, and then we're going to saute the onions. The bacon grease will give it great flavoring. Okay, so there's our bacon right there. And we're going to get our onions in here. We're going to get those softened up. And then when they are, we're going to add some water to that. Or you have chicken broth. Now, we're going to saute these. Now, here's the thing. For me, and let's see if I can keep from dropping the camera here. Okay, for me, I like, chicken broth is good. Nothing wrong with chicken broth, but chicken broth gets to be kind of expensive. You know, you buy one of the tubs of those chicken broths, they're like $3 or $4. I actually use, this is an organic, better than bouillon paste. I use this for almost all of my soups and stuff. It'll give it the salty taste. It'll give it that chicken flavor and stuff. And instead of having to use, take up a lot of cabinet space with, taking up a lot of cabinet space with the chicken broth, you can make a lot of it, and it's a lot cheaper. If I'm at home, I'll go to Restaurant Depot, and I'll buy a real nice tub of it. They have a multitude of flavors in it, you know, from shrimp paste to au jus to beef base and stuff, and you can see it. It's basically like a bouillon cube, but it's liquid, so it's a lot easier to use. So I'll take some of this. The onions are caramelizing. Oh, this is going to be so good. And see, for me, what I like to do is when I get my greens, I like to put some fresh sliced onions on them, a little bit of hot sauce, and some mayonnaise. And I can eat a bowl of greens, whether it's collard greens or mustard greens or spinach, or if you combine them, watercress. I may try to, although it'll be for the animals out here, try and grow some field cress. That's a great winter vegetable that you can grow in the garden. My problem is I have so many daggone critters out there that they're always eating up everything. And let's let you see inside the pot here. Okay. Oops, don't want to lose the camera. So this is what you get with broadcast media. Boom. There we go. You see the onions are caramelizing. And I put a little bit of our stock in here to help. You don't want to pour all of it in there. You put a little bit in there, it'll sizzle, and it'll help to lift that off of it. You put too much in there, it doesn't lift it off as easy. You want it to be able to get hot. And you can see that. See that color that's in there with the bacon? And it helps to clean the pot. Okay? And once you get that flavor, oh my God, that's so good. Oh, this smells good. It's just the onions. We'll go ahead and we're going to pour the rest of this in here and let that start heating up. And we're going to go ahead and basically get this real good and hot. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting in some of the greens. Now the bags of greens are pretty big, but they're going to cook down. And so that's why we'll put some in, let it cook down a little bit, and then we'll put some more in there until we get them all in here. So we're gonna end up having a good sized pot of this. And this is full of iron and things that your body needs. This is a fantastic, healthy meal that you're gonna get from this. All right, it's getting good and hot. We got our first batch in there. And we'll go clean some more. And these are gonna start wilting and dropping in the pot. And of course, we're gonna need more liquid in here as we go through. All right, so now you see where we are right here. Now, the chicken broth, you can go to taste, okay? Some people like things a little more salty. The saltiness, the thing about turnip greens is it has kind of a peppery taste. It's actually a little bit on the stronger side as greens. So some people like a little bit more salt in it than others. Now you can see we've got more water in here, and we're going to get this up to just beginning to boil, and then we're going to turn it down on low, and we're just going to let this simmer. We're going to put some more pepper into this, and we also are going to put in our turkey drumstick. Now again, you can end up putting in, if I didn't have the turkey, which I won't the next go around, I'll end up putting in some ham. So you got that meat and stuff that's in there that'll give it its flavor as well. And grind some pepper. And what you're really doing is you're trying to make almost like a soup broth type of a deal to it. That'll give it a great flavor. And if it's too spicy for it, some people will add a little bit of sugar to it. We're not going to add sugar to it because we are trying to get away from using sugar as much as possible. And I also too like to put vinegar on mine, so for it being spicy is okay for me. Okay. There you go. And now you have it. It's beginning to boil. So we'll turn it down on low. And I've got some snow to shovel. And of course, make sure you clean off the stove, so that way it doesn't look so bad. All right. I'm going to go shovel some snow, and I'm going to let this simmer, and I'll come back and taste it. If I need a little bit more seasoning to it, I'll add a little bit more pepper. And if it's too bitter, I'll add just a little pinch of sugar into it. And if I want it more brothy, I'll add a little bit more of the paste. But basically, that's going to be it, and just let time do the rest. There we go. And we're starting out at 43 degrees. Yep, starting off at 43 degrees. And we'll come back and we'll check on that. We'll baste it a little bit with some of the juices that are in there. And we're going to be eating really good. Okay, so today we've got it all together. And I'm pouring some balsamic vinegar because I like balsamic vinegar a lot. And so this is what we've done for our meal today. Okay, some Peruvian chicken. I've got my turnip greens with a little bit of balsamic vinegar, some onions and mayo, and we have some fresh sweet potato. Oh, also there's a couple little finger potatoes, red potatoes in there, just to get an extra starch in there. But some sweet potatoes with just a little bit of cinnamon on there. And this is real good, and I gotta go grab the green sauce. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to cook good food that's whole food. Look at this. Our homemade green sauce, which is incredible as a salad dressing, but also really good on the chicken. We're trying to figure out ways to save money on our budget, eat good food that is wholesome, and certainly tasty. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That green sauce. Oh my God. Look at that. Mm. The chin, yeah, well, we got the video. On Cooking and Tailgating with Joe Boo, we have exactly how we did this whole meal today. And I started this morning, and it's really not that hard to do this. And you will have an incredible meal. Turnip greens are great. They're a little bit spicier. They're almost peppery. They're great for you. Plenty of iron in them. And then, of course, you have your little baby potatoes. If you'd like to find out this, how to do this, or other great recipes, check out Cooking and Tailgating with Joe Boo. Football season's over with the Cowboys. Time for me to lose some weight and try and keep as many years out here on this body as I can. Have a great night.
You're gonna need them waiting on the Cowboys.
It's good. So good.